If you're wondering which budget DSLR cameras are worth your money, stick around. After we run through each product, I'll give you my personal take. Would I buy it or would I skip it? No fluff, just my honest opinion. Let's get into it. Canon EOS Rebel T7. Listen, for a camera that's basically the Nokia 3310 of DSLRs, this thing actually takes some decent shots with its 24.1 megapixel sensor and decent autofocus system. The image quality is surprisingly good for the price, but damn, that 3 frames per second continuous shooting is slower than my grandma doing parkour. Forget about capturing any fast action. The live view autofocus is painfully slow at 5.7 seconds in dim light, which is pretty much unacceptable even for 2015, let alone now. Would I buy it? Yes, it's a solid starter DSLR that won't break the bank and takes good photos if you're not trying to shoot Formula 1. Panasonic Lumix FZ80D. This bridge camera comes with a ridiculous 60x zoom range that lets you photograph a squirrel's whiskers from across town, but the image quality from that tiny 1/2.3-inch sensor is about as impressive as a potato camera. The autofocus is snappy and it has some neat features like 4K video and post-focus mode, but the image quality takes a nosedive faster than a skydiver when you zoom in or bump up the ISO. Would I buy it? No. While the zoom range is impressive, the image quality is worse than most modern smartphones. Nikon D3400. Now this is what I call a proper beginner DSLR. Great image quality, impressive low light performance up to ISO 3200, and battery life that outlasts your social media addiction. The autofocus is reliable through the viewfinder but becomes drunk and confused in live view, and that fixed screen makes shooting from weird angles about as comfortable as doing yoga in jeans. Would I buy it? Yes, it's a fantastic learning camera that produces great images and won't make you cry when checking your bank account. Nikon D7500. This bad boy packs some serious punch with its 20.9 megapixel sensor and impressive high ISO performance that can shoot decent photos even at ISO 51200. The autofocus system is quick and accurate, but Nikon decided to be stingy and removed the second card slot from the previous model. Apparently they think we all enjoy living dangerously with our photos. Would I buy it? Maybe it's a solid performer with great image quality, but that single card slot might give you anxiety if you're shooting important events. Canon EOS Rebel SL3. This tiny little powerhouse weighs just 15.84 ounces, but packs a serious punch with its 24.1 megapixel sensor and impressive 1/600 shot battery life. Yeah, you can shoot all day without your battery dying like those fancy mirrorless cameras. The autofocus system is pretty basic with only 9 focus points, which feels like it's from 2010, but hey, at least it has 4K video and a fully articulated touchscreen that's perfect for selfies. I see you vloggers. Would I buy it? Yes, it's the smallest DSLR you can get with modern features, perfect for beginners who don't want to lug around a brick. Nikon D3500. Damn, this camera's battery life is insane. 1,550 shots on a single charge, making other cameras look like they're running on AA batteries from the dollar store. The image quality is fantastic with its 24.2 megapixel sensor, though it's stuck in the Stone Age with only 1080p video and no touchscreen. Come on, Nikon, it's not 2012 anymore. Would I buy it? Maybe if you are purely into photography and couldn't care less about video features. This thing's a tank that'll keep shooting long after other cameras have given up. Canon EOS Rebel T8i. Look who showed up to the party with 45 autofocus points and 4K video. Though that 4K comes with a crop so bad it'll make your wide-angle lens cry. The image quality is solid up to ISO 6400, but anything higher starts looking like an oil painting, and that plasticky build quality isn't fooling anyone. Would I buy it? No, it's basically a more expensive SL3 with better autofocus, and at this price point you could get into mirrorless territory. Pentax K-70. Now this is interesting, Aries. It's built like a tank with weather sealing and has in-body stabilization that works with every lens, plus it's got some weird but cool features like pixel shift resolution for super detailed shots. The autofocus system is slower than a turtle in molasses with only 11 points, and the battery life is about as reliable as a chocolate teapot. But damn, if it doesn't take some gorgeous photos.
Would I buy it? Maybe. If you need a camera that can survive the apocalypse and don't mind the quirks, this thing's actually pretty awesome for landscape photography.
Nikon D5600. Look, if you want a lightweight camera that takes stunning photos without breaking your back, this is it. The image quality is fantastic, up to ISO 12800, and that 24.2 megapixel sensor captures some crisp details that'll make your Instagram followers think you're a pro. The touchscreen is actually responsive, unlike some other cameras that feel like they're running Windows 95, and the battery life is solid at 970 shots. The only annoying thing is the lack of 4K video, which in 2024 feels like buying a phone without a camera. Would I buy it? Yes, it's basically the Honda Civic of cameras. Reliable, gets the job done, and won't make you cry when checking your bank account. Canon EOS 90D. This thing is packing a massive 32.5 megapixel sensor that'll give you enough resolution to crop your ex out of family photos without losing quality. The autofocus is crazy fast with 45 cross-type points, and it shoots 10 frames per second, which is perfect for capturing your cat doing weird stuff. The downside, it's heavier than the D5600 by about 34%. And the image quality starts getting mushy above ISO 1600. Would I buy it? Maybe. It's like buying a sports car when you really just need something to get groceries with, but damn if it isn't fun to show off. Canon Rebel T6i. This camera is like that friend who's decent at everything, but not really amazing at anything specific. The 24 megapixel sensor takes nice photos, and the autofocus with 19 points is pretty good for the price. But let's be real, the battery life is kind of trash at 440 shots, and high ISO performance is about as graceful as a drunk elephant. Would I buy it? No, there are better options now, unless you find it super cheap used. Nikon D3200. Alright, grandpa camera time, but don't laugh. This 24.2 megapixel beast still takes sharp photos that'll make your phone camera look like a potato. The autofocus is basic with only 11 points, but it's fast and accurate in good light. The ISO performance is actually decent, up to 3200, though anything higher looks like an impressionist painting. Would I buy it? No, it's like buying an iPhone 4 in 2024. Sure, it works, but why would you do that to yourself? Nikon D3300. Look, if you want a lightweight camera that can actually take great shots, this one's pretty solid. The 24.2 megapixel sensor with no anti-aliasing filter means your photos will be sharp as hell, and it handles high ISO like a champ up to 12,800. The autofocus struggles a bit in low light, and there's no built-in Wi-Fi, which is kind of annoying, but hey, what do you expect for the price? Would I buy it? Yes, it's basically the sweet spot for beginners who want pro-level image quality without breaking the bank. Nikon D5100. This little guy packs the same sensor as its bigger brother D7000, giving you fantastic image quality and colors that'll make your Instagram followers jealous. The vari-angle screen is super handy for awkward angles, but damn, that penta-mirror viewfinder feels like looking through a keyhole compared to pricier cameras. The autofocus in live view is slower than a turtle in molasses, but at least it's accurate. Would I buy it? Maybe. It's showing its age, but still holds up surprisingly well if you can find it cheap. Nikon D7000. Now we're talking serious business. This tank is built like a brick with its magnesium alloy body and weather sealing. The 39-point autofocus system absolutely crushes it compared to the D3300 and a D5100. And the image quality is still impressive even by today's standards. The buffer fills up pretty quick with RAW files though, so spray and pray shooters might get frustrated. Would I buy it? Yes, it's basically a semi-pro camera disguised as a mid-range model, and it still kicks ass today. Pentax KF. Alright, this is the weird cousin at the camera family reunion. It's got some cool party tricks like pixel shift super resolution and built-in image stabilization that works with any lens. The weather sealing is fantastic and it feels super solid in hand, but let's be real, the autofocus system feels like it's from 2010 and the video mode is straight up embarrassing. Would I buy it? Maybe. If you're into hiking in the rain and don't care about video, this thing's actually pretty sweet for the price. Thanks for watching. I hope this video helps you pick the budget DSLR cameras for you. If you have any questions, drop a comment below. Links to all of these products mentioned in this video will be in the description.